Hey YouTube, it's Soul Prime 13 again. We got another quick video, first impressions. I totally forgot to bring the box over. Hold on, no. But yeah, we this time we have the Quintesson High Commander with a picture of a Quintesson ship on the front that looks nothing like the actual figure, but those ships in the movie were cool. I'm not gonna deny they definitely left an impression. But yeah, you know, we got the movie logo, we got the movie poster, on the top, we got mug shots, and again, the totally different ship. You can actually see his teeth here. Because yeah, he definitely had big, scary teeths in the movie. Here we got our product shots. There we have our commander. He does come with a Energon cube accessory, which I will talk about. I had heard that this guy was not great, and honestly, he was actually kind of a little bit worse than I was expecting, even knowing that. But I still really wanted to get him for two reasons. One, I don't have any Quintesson figures, and two, I really like the ship. I really like this ship mode. And like, I don't even really like the color green, and you know, he's like basically all green, but I was like, this ship looks so cool. I don't care. I want one. We got our legal jargon on the bottom, and something, I know this doesn't really matter for the review, but I couldn't help but notice that the bottom of the box is different. It's got, you know, 4 folding panels. Whereas, let me grab Bumblebee. Most of the boxes have, you can see, a little piece of tape. That's usually how I open them. I cut up that tape and then pull this open. But this guy was different. I don't know why. Just this guy specifically has been different. But I just felt an odd need to discuss that. Stand up. Here we have our instructions with lots of pretty pictures. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, if you've watched any other major reviewers talk about this guy, you probably already know about a lot of his flaws. He does have a lot of that softer plastic. His articulation is extremely limited, and the entire like nose cone of the ship, which is this part right here, is just that soft plastic, sort of airbrushed, and it doesn't look amazing. I mean, it's not horrible, but it could be better. But again, I still wanted this guy. I don't have any actual Quintesson figures. I obviously still would like to get, you know, the traditional 5-face Quintessons. I do have a Gatorcon or whatever. I think it's an Alicon. The alligator minion, and a couple different Sharkticon figures. But yeah, I would like to get at least some of the actual Quintesson figures at some point in the future. But you know, I wanted to get this for now. A couple odd notes. First of all, his head, which is on this, you know, if you want him to be really tall, the joint here that this is on, because his head is on a ball joint, you have to basically fold it in and bring it all the way down. Oh, it actually worked. This is the first time that has not caused his head to pop off, because the ball joint is usually not. Yeah, see, the ball joint does not hold enough tension during the when this clicks into place. You can sort of hear it. It's very stiff to get into place. So that was the first time I've had his head not pop off. But yeah, that's kind of an annoyance. But you know, fortunately, that's the only real major flaw with the transformation. Sometimes these tentacles, you know, getting them the first time at least, it took me a minute to figure out how to like orient them properly, because you do kind of gotta squeeze them together a little bit. But you know, once you realize what you're doing, it's not that big of a deal. They're just a little weird the first time. He does have slightly different variations on his arms, but this one has a little bit of paint, and this one does. Well, technically they both have that like burgundy paint, but this one has a little bit of like neon green on it for some reason, which I think his eyes are actually yellow, but it's weird. But yeah, he has very limited articulation, honestly. Like, he's got ball joints on his shoulders and elbows, but he basically does not have hands, and he has no real lower body movement. His head is on a ball joint, but, you know, as you can see, it's like flat, so really all you're getting is some rotation here. But yeah, these tentacles can come out to the side, and technically you can move this stuff, but like, that's how he stands, so you're not really gonna mess with that. Coming to the accessory, I'm kind of surprised. Well, I'm not really surprised, but all the Energon cubes in the movie are displayed as blue, so I was a little surprised at first that they made it pink, but it makes sense because all the soft plastic on this guy is pink, and while it may not seem like it, this is made of that same soft plastic. It just doesn't really have any give to it because it's just a solid cube. That said, the only real issue I have with this cube, because like, hey, cool, Energon cube, that's a thing in the Transformers. I wish that they had put just a tiny little hole or slot, and so that he could like put it on, you know, the peg on his hand, or have like a little tab to put it in his hand, claw, tentacle thing. I wish they had just like left a tiny little slot so it could like plug into things. But, you know, whatever, I guess. But yeah, and it does store in his jet spaceship mode. There is this little cavity under the nose of the ship, which you can slide it into like so. And because it's that soft plastic, it really grips well, but it's not hard to get out, which is nice. And you can leave it in there while he's transformed. There is enough space, so if you want to have him nom the cube and stuff, I don't know if they actually use Energon for their own sustenance, but, you know, I'm sure they use it for something. They're obviously taking it in droves. But yeah, they're, you know, you can store it in either mode. You can leave it in if you so choose. But yeah, honestly, he is a little bit worse than I was expecting, even knowing that he wasn't great. But, you know, I wasn't expecting the moon and back. I was expecting, you know, a creepy tentacle overlord. And that's essentially what I got. Again, I do really like the ship. I mostly got this just to say that I have a quintesson now. And despite his low quality and flaws, I'm not really disappointed. But that, you know, a good chunk of that was I knew what I was getting into. Honestly, I do kind of feel like, even though he's, you know, the new price point of like $20, I do still feel that is a little bit pricey for what this guy is, because he is pretty simple. But you know, if they put him at $15, I definitely wouldn't have complained. But, you know, I don't know how that really would have worked, considering they like to stick to certain size classes, and they only really $15 one. I do think there is the warrior class, but they haven't done any of those for this line yet. And the only other one I can think of is those super basic mega changers, which are, you know, very much kid oriented, super tall, and completely like hollowed out. So he definitely wouldn't have fit in that group. But I can't really give him a high rating because he is very basic and very flawed. But I feel like a 5 out of 10 would be fair. Again, I am very satisfied, all things considered, with this figure, because I knew what I was getting into when I went and picked him up. I was not expecting a lot, and he really is just like, I wanted a quintesson for my collection, and I got what I wanted out of that interaction, out of that transaction. So for me, he's fine, he's enough. You will probably feel differently, especially if you're a G1 fan and we're hoping for a really cool actual transforming quintesson. So, you know, it's really going to be up to personal discretion. I think that if you aren't super thrilled about the way he looks or all the soft plastic, you can very easily pass. But you know, if you just kind of want the cool ship, or you're like me and want to add a quintesson to your collection or a different take on them, I think you won't be too disappointed. I think you'll be satisfied in the long run. But yeah, just be aware of what you're getting into, and that he's probably one of the lower budget figures in the line, and hopefully that rest of that budget went somewhere useful. But yeah, that's all I really had to say. So that is my first impressions of the Transformers 1 Quintesson High Commander.